Good morning, students. Today our topic is Python programming, and this is Python programming part 11. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about data types of Python programming language. So, what is data type? Data type is basically the type of data, or type of the data is called data type, and every language have its own data types. Python programming language also. So these are the different categories regarding to data types. You can easily see that. For text, we use str. For numeric type, data types are int, float, complex. Int, float are already used by you in a previous lecture. Next is sequence types, list, tuple, and range, and mapping type dictionary, and boolean type bool. So these are the different data types used in programming language. Till now you used only three different types of data types. There is str, int, and float, but there are so many different types of data types in programming language, and these are built-in default built-in data types, also called as built-in data types. So let's start first. Getting the data type. If you want to know what is the data type of a particular number or a particular data, you can just write type, type, and then pass the value of that variable, or pass that value, e.g. 5, 5.5, 6, or maybe it may be a string or a complex number or a list, tuple, etc. We can later on see in this lecture. So, and if you want to if you give print statement outside this, as given here, so the type of that data or x will be printed on your screen. So print the data type of the variable x. Just write x is equal to 5, print type x, and the type of data will be printed. Let us see. Okay, integer int will be print after the execution of that statement of the program. And these are the Python data types. If x is equal to hello world, then type of x is string, str. X is equal to 20, then then output is show the int in this program. This is regarding to this program. So if you pass x is equal to hello world, str is the output, x equal to 20, then int is the output. And if you write 1j or 1 or 2j or 3j or 5j, whatever you write, but always remember, write j to represent a complex number. In Python programming, basically j is used to represent a complex number, but in mathematics, as we know, that I is basically used to represent a complex number. And what is the value of I? If I write -1, then basically it is equal to I, or we can say it is equal to I. But in Python programming, I is replaced by j, so we can say that j is equal to -1, under root -1. So here we can easily see that when we say that x is equal to 1j, 1, 2j or 3j, whatever number may vary, but 1j represent a complex number. Then a string, then a list. List is another data type. We can easily see that this bracket is used, and there are three different values. Basically strings are given, and strings are given as apple, banana, cherry. So these are the element of a list. So this is another data type which contain type which contain different numbers of data, and then tuple here, and we can easily see that there is only a difference of representation here, parenthesis used. We will discuss these two in detail in our next video, but but for today you have to learn that these are the two data types used in Python programming language, list and tuple. And second is range. It basically find out the range of a given number. When we say that range is 6 as given in question, and then the elements belong to this range are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Always remember that counting starts from 0 and goes up to n minus 1. Since here n is equal to 6, n is equal to 6 here, n is equal to 6 here, so n minus 1 means 5. So 0 to 5. Next is a dictionary. Here you can see that this is used for mapping, and it will also be discussed next lecture. And we can see that there is a combination here, name John, age 36, and why we see that, because they are separated by a comma sign here. So this is the field value and this is the value reflecting. So name is John and age is 36. So this is a dictionary, and then bool value only represent true or false. In today's lecture we discussed only string and numbers. Next lecture we're going to discuss about list and tuple, and in next lecture we're going to discuss range, dictionary and boolean value. So to represent different types of Python data types, if you write x is equal to hello world, then it will be considered as a string data type. And if you write int 20, it is an integer type of data, it will be considered as an integer type of data. And if you write just float 20.5, then it is a float type of value. And then 1j, then it is a complex. Just write list to represent that is a list. Remember that this no sign is used, simple parenthesis there, but when you write a list, it automatically convert into a list type of data. And then tuple, it automatically convert into a tuple type of data. And range, for range you can write range, for dictionary you can write dict. So till now, when we use different types of data in our program, then we used basically int to represent integer type of data when we take input, or float or string. But you can also use, if required, complex, list, tuple, range, dictionary, bool. So this type of value can also be used as a data type. Next is Python numbers. First of all, there are three basic categories of Python numbers. First one is int, second is float, and third is complex number. So int or integer is a whole number. It may be positive or negative, without decimal of unlimited length. And this is the example here. X is equal to 1, 3, 5, 6, 5, 6, 2, 2, and whatever it is, and with 7, 7, 1, 1. So very big number. And this is again an integer number but a negative value. And when we type x, type y, type z, answer is same for all these three statements, and answer is int, because all these are of integer type. Next is, we can see that there is a representation class int, that is the output. So class will be appear before int, which shows the class of the data type. Next is a float. So float or floating point number is a number, positive or negative, containing one or more decimal. So basically they contain decimal values, 1.10, 1.0, minus 30.5, 35.59, and whenever and when you want to print this type of values, print type x, type y, type z, again answer is same for all these, and answer is float, or exactly it is represented as class float. Next is a Python float value, another representation of Python float value, and they can be represented using an exponential sign e or capital E. Both are acceptable. Just we write 35e3, and what is the meaning of e? Number with an e to indicate the power of 10. It means when we write 35 e3, it means it is equivalent to, or it is equal to 10 root 35 into 10 root power 3. But there is a representation here. Actually this representation, or we can write it as, okay, 35 into e represent 10 power 3 here, and here 12e4 and minus 87.7 e100. And when you want to type the data type of these numbers, answer is again same, and answer is float. Next is Python data type. Complex number are written as J as the imaginary, as I told you earlier that imaginary part. Complex number basically have two part, real part and imaginary part, and then they can be written as R plus I. R refers for real part and I refers for imaginary part, and they can be written as 3 plus 5i, generally in mathematics, which meaning 3 plus 5 under root minus 1. Real part is not necessarily required to represent a complex number. If it is not there, it will be considered as 0. Suppose if we write 5j only, its meaning is 0 plus 5j. So real part is 0 and imaginary part is considered as this is the imaginary part. So again we can see that 3 plus 5j, 5j minus 5j, minus sign is also there, and when we try to print the data type of all these, we can easily see that these numbers are represented as a complex number. Next is type conversion. We can easily convert one data type to another data type. So if you declare a data type in a statement and you want to convert this data into another data type, it is also possible. So to convert data into one form to another, you use these functions int, float, and complex. To convert int type of data, you can use int. To convert float, you can use float, and to convert it into complex number, you can write complex. Let us see. X is equal to 1, y is equal to 2.8. Obviously it is a float number, and x equal to 1 is an integer type of number, and next z is equal to 1, z is a complex number. So convert from int to float. If you want to convert 1 is obviously integer type of value, into a float, then what happens, 1 is converted to 1.0. Basically magnitude is same, but the representation is different, and decimal sign is there, so we can say that 1.0 is a float value and 1 is a integer type of value. So just write float here and the value which you want to convert, and in this case value is x, and convert from float to int. If you want to convert float to int, just write int in place of float, and then in parentheses write a value, it is y here, it is y here. Y will convert it into integer type of data. Next is convert from float to int. Okay, convert from int to complex. So integer to complex, again you can write complex, you can write here, as you can see that complex x. So x, which is integer type of value, is converted into a complex number. And then if you write the value of print a, print b, print c, then all the values of a, b, c will be printed according to the new format. And if you want to check the data types, so data types are also printed using type function. Now I hope this is clear to all of you, and this is the output. Let us check. First of all, a here is a float type of value, and x is converted to a float value. X is 1 here, so when it convert into a float value, it becomes 1.0. so when we want to print x, 1 is 0.0 is the answer. Then you can easily see that y is equal to 2.8 here, 2.8 here, y is converted into int, so only integer part is considered, so 2 will be the answer. Yes, 2 is there. And then you print c is equal to complex number and x is equal to 1 here. You can easily see that, and 1 is converted to again into a complex number. So answer is 1 plus 0j. This is representation 0j. And when try to print the different types of data types here, then answer is again float, because it is a float data type, it is an integer type, and it is a complex data type. This is float data type, this is int, and this is complex. Python data types specify a variable type. This may be times when you want to specify a type onto a variable. This can be done with casting. Python is an object-oriented language, and such it uses class to define data types, including its primitive types. Casting in Python is done using constructor functions. Int construct an int number from an integer literal, a float literal by rounding down to the previous whole number, or a string literal provided the string represent a whole number. Float construct a float number from an integer literal, a float literal, or a string literal provided the string represented a float or an integer. Str construct a string from a wide variety of data types, including string, integer literal, and float literal. So these are already discussed and no need to explain at the point of time. So I think concept is very simple. To convert integer type of data, you use int function, and to float you use float, and to convert complex you use complex. So these are already used. Next is, there is a program, small program here, and you can see that x is equal to int 1, y is equal to int 2.8, int is equal to 3. So answer will be 1 because int is there. 2.8 answer will be 2, and for 3 here we can easily see that 1 is an integer number, 2.8 is a float number, 3 is a string because given in a double quote mark. But when you write int before these numbers, or you can pass these number into integer function, then these are converted in that explicitly into a particular data type. So int 1, answer is 1, and when you write int 2.8, answer is 2, because this value is not supposed to be part of integer value. And third is int 3. Here 3 is given in within a double quote, so it will be a string here. And but we know that it is a number, but within a double quote mark it is considered as a string. But when we use int data type, then it is again converted into a string, into number. But remember that if you pass a string, means a set of characters just like ABC, then this will not work. A number should be there to convert into integer type. And in second case, we can easily see that float 1 2.8, 3 and 4.2, so they are again explicitly converted to float type of value. So float 1 becomes 1.0, float 2.80 is converted to 2.8, 2.8 is float 2.8 is converted to 2.8, float 3 there is a string again converted to 3.0. Remember that it is a number, and it is a number, and 3.0 is an integer, and when it passes within double quotes it may be considered as a string. But here we write a float, so value of z will be 3.0, and w float 4.20 will be converted to 4.2. Next, Python data types. Again, for string, if we pass a string and write str, then no problem at all, it is also a string. And when we pass str, then it explicitly convert this into a string, so s1 is the answer. And but when you pass str2, now 2 is a number, but when you write str, then here then 2 is converted to a string value, and 2 is considered to be a string. And str 3.0, again 3.0, as we know that is a float value, but here str is written here, so it is considered to be a float value, so it is considered to be a string value. Always remember that string value are represented within a double or single quote. Next is string literal. String literal in Python are surrounded by either single quotation mark or double quotation marks, as I told you earlier that whether there may be a single quotation mark or double quotation mark. Hello is the same as hello, and you can display string literal with the print function. So if you write hello within a single quotation mark or within double quotation mark, there is no effect on this. This will be considered as a string. Assign string to a variable. Here we assign a value a, hello, and then write print a, then answer of a is a string again. And if there is a multi-line string means a string comes in more than one lines, then how can you represent it? So there is a notation, double quotation marks 3 times to start a string and double quotation mark 3 times to end a string, like this. So you can assign a multiple string to a variable by using 3 quotes, and as in this diagram. Next is you can write single quotation marks to represent a string also, you can see that. So this is also considered as a string. So there are 2 different ways to represent a multi-line string here. Next is string are arrays. Like many other popular programming languages, strings in Python are arrays of bytes representing Unicode characters. However, Python does not have any character data type. As a single character, simply it is a string with a length of 1. A square bracket can be used to access element of the string. So let's start first. First of all, if there is a string, what is the meaning of this statement? I told you just now. There is a string, suppose hello world is there, 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 hello is there only. Make it simple, just write hello. Then character of this string is correct counting of the character of this string starts from 0 here. 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and let us suppose that the name of this string is A, and also there is this is called the indexing, and there is also negative indexing. Negative indexing means just write number from right left to right. It means from here this is -1 and -2 -3 -4 and then -5. So there are two possible ways. Now second thing, if you want to represent or access h only and you want to show only this element, then we know that A is the name of the string. So to represent this element, just we write just A and then bracket and then just write the position. Position is 0, and if you write print statement here, then h will be printed. That is the logic behind this. Also, if you write A -1, then O will be printed because -1 starts from here. This is written as get the character position 1, remember that the first character as position 0. Now string slicing. Slicing is also possible. This is for individual element, but when you write, suppose B is a hello word here and you write just B2, this is slicing, and colon sign and then 5. Then slicing start from position 2, index position 2, and goes up to 4, means n-1. Last element is not included at all. So we can see that here string is hello world, and space is also considered as a character or a part of string. Remember that. So here h0, e1, l2, so l will be printed, and at third position again l is again printed, and at fourth position O is there, so O is printed, and at fifth position comma is there, but fifth is not considered here because last element is not considered. So double L O will be printed. So output is double L O. And last is negative indexing here. Here we can see that -5 to -1. So hello world starts from here. This is -1, and D is at -2, -3 L, -4 R, and -5 O. So -5 O is there. So starts from O, so it means O will be printed. So it is -5, -5, then -4, -3, and then -2. So as I told you that last element is not included, so -2 is not included, so only the element at -4, -5, -4 and -3 will be printed. So in this case O, R and L will be printed. That is an example of negative indexing. I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching this video.